Welcome to the Marketing Revolution podcast. This is the underground movement of savage marketers from all over the world. We are not Fortune 500 companies. We are real entrepreneurs with real businesses that have one major thing in mind: to set goals and devour them daily. Because we understand that everyone wants to eat, but only savage marketers are willing to do the hunt. Now let's get this revolution started. Hey, what's up, everybody? John Hiley here with the Marketing Revolution podcast and the Marketing Savage Facebook group, bringing you another Tactical Tuesday, where I give you a tactical strategy to actually use in your business. And today I'm going to talk about the power of the motherfucking follow-up. I want to talk about a guy named Joe Girard. If any of you guys haven't heard of Joe Girard, he is in the Guinness Book of World Records as the individual that sold the most cars out of any individual in the world. There may be a guy in India or something like that surpassed him at some point, but Joe Girard actually sold over 13,000 cars in his career. He sold an average of 6 cars per day. So if you took his career average, you think about that career average, sold 6 cars per day. In fact, Joe Girard was so popular in his community and so popular among the people of the city that he serviced. I think he was outside of Detroit, Michigan. He was so popular that people would line up on Saturdays just to not only buy a car from Joe Girard, but to meet him and say they actually bought a car from Joe Girard. So how did he do this? How did he form this, for lack of better words, cult-like following of people who wanted to do business with him so much that they would line up and wait for him to sell them probably one of their second biggest purchases in their lifetime, which would be their automotive vehicle? Well, Joe did something very simple that a lot of businesses lack. They do not do. He sent out 13 cards per year. And I'm talking about physical mailing, not an email. He literally handwritten 13 cards to all of his prospects every single year, including 2 in the month of December, which would be the holiday, the Christmas card. And on the front of his card, he had a picture of himself, and he said, "Hi, I'm Joe Girard. I like you." That was his tagline. I like you. Incredible enough. Like, that was enough. That consistency. Every time, every month they opened their mailbox and there was a picture of Joe Girard, simply just telling them that he liked them. That simple, but it was very consistent. And it was also based on the follow-up. Okay. Because what happens when most of the time when you do business with a company, you never hear from them again. You don't even get a call asking if you were happy with whatever it is that you purchased. You don't even get that after phone call going, "Hey, Jack or Joe, how are you doing in your new truck? Or how are you doing in your new car? Or so how did you like our service from our plumber that came out the other day?" You usually don't even get a follow-up phone call, let alone a follow-up letter in the mail, a follow-up card in the mail, a follow-up email. Okay. So it's one of the biggest things that businesses lack is that follow-up, that connection, because that is what's going to build your tribe. And that's also going to not only build the tribe, but that's also going to create a group of raving fans. And that's just because you stepped up and went the extra mile. Most people or most companies are afraid to do the follow-up because they're afraid that they're going to hear something negative, all right? So we automatically default to, okay, well, if I call the client customer and ask them how everything was, I'm going to hear something negative. I'm going to get some negative reverb, and then it's going to become a problem. And then now I'm just going to fill my life with a bunch of fucking problems. It's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. You're telling yourself, because what that does, if you actually do start getting some negative feedback, then you know that your process needs to be refined way fucking more. It's like instant feedback telling you that, the shit you're putting out into the world's not working. So what do you do with that feedback? That feedback is gold. That feedback is what's going to build the business. So if you do start to get some negative feedback, number one, you get the opportunity to make it right. And in this day and age, look, a business can't afford to lose any customers at all, any clients. So you got to step out and you got to make it right. And then when you make it right, you learn from that. And you also create a raving fan. You get the opportunity to create a raving fan in your business that is going to refer you. And that is the power of the follow-up. You eventually build a sales team of people that are going out. I mean, I couldn't imagine how many referrals Joe Girard got. I'm sure the cards were great and they brought repeat clients back in, but I couldn't imagine how many referrals Joe Girard got. I mean, could you just imagine sitting in a coffee shop and somebody hears, an individual talking about, hey, I'm going to buy a car. Well, who's the first person that pops in this individual's head? The guy who's been sending them a postcard every single month since they bought a car 3 years ago, wishing them happy birthday, wishing them Merry Christmas. They're gonna like interrupt the conversation and go over there and be like, hey, you need to go talk to Joe Girard. Okay? Joe Girard's your guy. That's your car salesman. Look, y'all. That's what we want to build inside of our businesses, y'all. We want to keep in constant contact with our client base, adding value, just showing up and just being in their world. I got a quick story for you guys. I had when I first moved into my house, we hired a carpet cleaning company, and the carpet cleaning company was amazing. It was a referral from a friend of mine. And he gave me this company's name, and the company came out and they did just an amazing job. And probably about 3 years later, we decided we needed the carpets cleaned again. And I couldn't remember who the company was. So I thought, I'll just look it up. I'm sure I'll find them. Well, I looked up this company and I thought that I'd found them, but it turned out to be, it was a totally different company. And they came out and they didn't do near as good as a job. Right. But here's the deal. Like, if that carpet company would have kept me on follow-up, if they would have hit me with just simple as an email every month, there's no way I would have forgot their fucking name. And a lot of us as business owners, we think that we're so important that nobody's going to forget our name. Nobody's going to forget who we are. That's bullshit. Every month that you are not in contact with your current client base, you lose 40% of them. Let that sink in, guys. Let that sink in, y'all. So right here is a tactical strategy for y'all, because y'all need to get on your follow-up game. And when you get it right, you can actually automate that shit. You can automate it. I don't want to take away the personal touch, though. If there's a way that you can do a personal touch, something handwritten, something personal, that's going to go even further. But that being said, there's part of it. I mean, if you're not doing anything now, it's better to have something happening. So to automate part of it will be the key, but then look for little things, like little things that may be inconvenient, but will add a personal touch, and that'll take it to the next level. So anyhow, y'all, I appreciate you for coming along on this Marketing Savage Tactical Tuesday on the Marketing Revolution podcast. All right, everybody, I appreciate you. And as usual, I'll see you on that next one.